getting unloaded. One of these docks here at Lipari Foods. That place I pick up in Burke tends to do like a lot of pizza stuff, possibly pasta. I'm not really sure, but it's out of there in Nevada, Iowa. Nevada, however they pronounce it. Anyway, I'm at one of those docks where they do everything inside. You back up with your doors closed and they break the seal and they unload you and all that. Then I'll be going 166 miles down to Delphos, Ohio to pick up a load. It's about roughly 3 hours, maybe just a little shy of 3 hours, 2 hours and 40 some odd minutes, depending on what kind of traffic I deal with. And I'm probably going to be driving in the middle of rush hour traffic, so it may or may not take me longer. Anyway, this place was a zoo trying to back in. Everybody wants to not wait for each other to finish backing up. And I waited till I thought the people that I was going to be backing up between were done moving around. I get almost backed into the dock and still had to do some pull-ups just to straighten out a little bit. And the guys next to me wanted to go ahead and start pulling up and doing all kinds of crap in the middle of me trying to finish. It's like, I waited until you guys were completely stopped and weren't doing anything before I started to back in, and you guys just decided to start moving again. So, whatever. People are impatient, don't want to wait. Part of that big city attitude, don't want to wait. As soon as someone gets a little bit out of your way, you go. You don't wait for nothing. It's just the way it is. You gotta just do it. Forget about everybody else. So thought I'd get on here and chit chat while I was waiting to get unloaded, however long that takes. So it was about 5:14 when I got backed up to the dock after they turned the light red, roughly. And it's now 5:33 Eastern time. Means I'm in Michigan. And then I'll be heading down to Ohio and then up to Wisconsin. Be picking a load up there and then heading back to Iowa. And then we'll see if I can get any of these done early to try to squeak in another load before the end of the week or not. I got a feeling most of these places I'm going to are going to make me stick to my appointment times, and I'm gonna be stuck waiting till my appointment times to do stuff. So no one appears to be on here. Sometimes I come on early or late at night or whatever, and I'm amazed that that I actually have drivers get on here, but I just never know when I'm gonna get people popping on and watching me. Before I take off here, I got to reset my reefer to -10. Right now it's set for -1. Frozen is frozen though. I don't know what the difference is between -1 and -10. That's all pretty friggin' cold and frozen, so I don't know what the difference is, but I guess these places think there's a difference and that it matters, but who am I to question it, you know? So, come on. I got classic Pete long nose on the right of me. Got these guys. It's pretty much what my view looks like right now. So yesterday I checked in across the street over there and they told me I had to come over here, but they had to wait till 5:30 this morning. I showed up there about 3 or 4 o'clock yesterday and they told me I had to come back. So if you were part of my live feed or watched my last live feed, I had to pay for parking like 20 bucks and I kept the receipt and wrote paid for cash out of pocket on it and put it in my folder that I turn in. And I'm gonna have to use this folder here a little bit because I'm gonna have to hire a lumper. So, because I'm not going and doing that breaking down stuff. For one, I don't know what I'm doing with lumper stuff. I'll just pay somebody to do it. They give me the EFS code to do it with. I got $600 there, so whatever, I'll go ahead and use it for that. I try not to use that code at all. I generally don't hardly ever have a trailer that's really dirty. Most it ever gets is some broken pallet wood, and usually you can just get up there and pick up the chunks. Sometimes I'll just get up there and pile it all in the corner and then hope that the guys inside can take the 2 seconds to pick up the pile and throw it in their trash can that they probably got sitting right next to the dock. Maybe. If not, it's at the end where it's not going to bother anybody and it's off shoved up against the sidewall and it's probably out of their way, so they're not going to get it all over the place. And unless I have a dumpster or a trash can real nearby, I'll leave it at the end. If there's a trash can nearby, I'll go ahead and take that out. But in general, I don't get trailers that get all kinds of blood and guts or whatever, you know, nasty things all over that's going to cause nasty smells and stuff that's going to get my trailer rejected. It's just usually a bunch of pallet wood and pallet dust, a few pieces of plastic at the most, a few old seals is about the worst of it normally. So I kind of feel like it's a waste of money getting trailer washouts for that at 40 to 60 bucks a pop depending on where you go. Most generally it's about 46 bucks at a Streak and Beacon, but I've been to some places and they'll charge 60, almost 70 bucks for that crap. So it just depends on where you go as to what price you're gonna have to deal with there. Most of you guys know that though if you've been driving for a minute or two. But if you catch my live feeds next week, I'll have my daughters on the truck, and they'll be hanging out with me, and I'm going to try not to let them bring so much. They totally trashed the truck during Christmas when I had them both on the truck. Everything was on the floor and they were trampling on them all over everything. They had cereal and all their various snack stuff all over the floor, and they were just trampling all over all of it. And it was crazy. So, but it should be fun. Now I got a truck with a double bunk. So if you see that up there, I got an extra bunk, and I have that made up there. I have sheets up there. I have one of my old comforters up there and 2 pillows, but they're going to bring some of their own stuff. And that's basically extra storage up there. I've got my duffel bag. Some of the stuff I used to sleep with is up there. But there's going to be some rules with them on the truck. They're not going to bring so much stuff. And I'll probably have my internet going the whole time. The TV will be on. They'll have their pads and be hanging out and stuff. So they'll have fun, and we'll do a few live feeds and stuff. Who knows where we'll be going, whether we'll be going any of the places I normally go or not, or if I'll be going other places. So yeah, I got this newer truck. So hi, I got 2 people on here now. Cool. Try to give that thumbs up, please. Helps the channel if you can please do that. We're just waiting to get unloaded. I haven't felt them on the truck at all. We'll see. It's now 5:41. I was supposed to be at the dock at 5:30. I was at the dock just about 5:14. I checked in just a little bit after 5. So we'll see. For those of you that haven't already heard me say so, I got my camera handy cam on. It's charging, and I'm doing like a vlog this week of what I'm doing. And so far, nothing really all that mind-boggling, or nothing too crazy has really happened. Haven't made any mistakes or anything yet. It's just been me telling you what I'm doing as I'm doing it, for the most part. Nothing really great yet. No drama. Definitely ready to get back into summer. Aren't you guys ready to get back into summer? And I've got stuff I want to get done around my house, especially around the outside. I need to get my chainsaws up and running and try to get a couple of trees down in my yard. Got my garage I need to get back. Hey, I'm feeling them now. There we go. We're going to get unloaded now. And I've got till so we'll put you guys right there for a second. I have until 2 o'clock this afternoon to get to Delphos, Ohio, and it's about 3 hours away. And so I'm going to drive down there and check in as soon as I'm done here. And then I'm supposed to be in Greenville by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then I get to Manitowoc, Wisconsin, to pick up a load that goes over to Altoona, Iowa. So let's see. Manitowoc is at 6 o'clock. Tomorrow. Wait, not tomorrow, the day after. 6 o'clock on the 12th. I'm getting a lot of time on these little runs here. not really tight at all, but I got plenty of time to get there and then get parked and then sit until the next day to get unloaded. But I will try to get unloaded early if I can, but chances are. But I suppose my last delivery is March 13th at 1900, so 7 o'clock. So it's all more than doable.
What's your phone number?
515-778-6263.
Thank you.
Back going around at the pad getting information. I already gave them that information inside. I don't know why he's asking me again. Whatever. I wonder if that's the guy that's unloading me, because I felt them for a minute and then I haven't felt them for a little while. So, whatever. We'll be out of here somewhat soon. I got plenty of time to get up there, but I've already started my clock for the day, so I don't want them to take too long. But I got 3 hours to get over there, and then it's not very long to get up to the next one. So it's 7 hours from my pickup to my next delivery tomorrow morning, and I'm only gonna drive, yeah, so I've got just enough time on my clock to get to where I'm gonna deliver to, and hopefully I'll get unloaded when I get there. Hopefully if I get there tonight, I will be able to get unloaded, so I get ahead of the game a little bit. Because all very doable. This is how many miles are in between. 166 miles down to Delphos to Greenville. From there is 411 miles. And then to go to Manitowoc, it's only 70 miles away. That's Michigan, Manitowoc, Michigan. And then 420 miles over to Altoona, Iowa. So very doable. And then if you look at this map here, not a big deal. I feel them moving around a little more. So should be out of here soon. Playing the waiting game is not very fun, but it's all part of trucking. Hopefully when I get done unloaded and have to go and get my stuff when it's time for me to leave, hopefully these guys won't all be in my way, because right now everybody's sitting, no one's moving around, not a bunch of people backing up. It's like everybody was checking in about the same time, and everybody was trying to get into the dock about the same time. So what does that mean? Does that mean that everybody's going to be unloaded and getting their paperwork and leaving about the same time? I hope I don't have to fight all these guys trying to leave the dock. Everybody's trying to leave roughly about the same time. So, but looks like there's plenty of room between the docks for me to close my doors without having to pull all the way up off to the left. So that's a plus. I get out to shut, well, they'll have my doors shut, so I don't have to worry about shutting my doors. I do need to look inside there to see how dirty it is, to see if I do need to go get a trailer wash on my way. Chances are I won't have to, but what I do have to do is do a stupid lumper fee thing, probably through a site. I'll bring my envelope in to do the lumper fee, and hopefully the lumper fee isn't all that bad, because I'm not getting up in there and breaking that crap down. I don't know what I'm doing. I know you probably separated out into different products onto different pallets and whatnot, and I do know how to palletize. I used to do that kind of stuff, but you know how long it's been since I've done that crap? Since like 2011, 2012. That's how long it's been since I've done anything like that. Last time I was an unloader at Walmart, and we palletized random stuff by department. So we had each pallet for a department number for each department where everything was going out in the store to get for the people that were assigned each department to fill the shelves with product if there was room for the product on the shelves, and then it would come back to the back room, and then they would try to find a room for it in the various places. So I got a question for you guys, for any of you other truckers. We're supposed to be setting up for site dock. I'm sitting at the dock facing this one-way sign where we're only supposed to go to the right. Here's a truck that came in, I guess the way you're supposed to come in, off to the left. And there's a one-way sign right there, almost right in front of me. Why would you force people thanks, Benny. I try to keep it real and show you guys what's actually going on, but that is something that this place is kind of screwed up about, because they're trying to force people to do blindside backs, which is they're basically going to force people to do. Although I saw a lot of people going against that sign, no one was paying attention, including me. By the time I saw that sign, I had already come in from over there and come this way. So if I got a dock over here, which I just got lucky that I didn't get any of the docks over on there's docks facing that way, and so if I had to go to one of those docks, I'd have to go back onto the street and come back in and go that way. And but it's stupid to have a one-way sign forcing truckers to come in the other way. But as far as I saw, I didn't see any signs that were very readable anyway, saying that truckers come in a different way. So that is stupid to force truckers to come in and face the dock from their passenger side and try to back in blindside, because they're going to have to flip around anyway to come around and back in from their passenger side. And then I get these idiots on my channel sometimes, oh, if you got the skills, man. It ain't about skills, it's about being smart and not putting yourself in a position to get in an accident, because blindside is exactly that. You're backing in blind. It doesn't matter how good of a backer you are. It's setting yourself up to get in accidents and stuff, because you literally cannot see unless you get so cocked over to your right side to where you can get into a straight. Once you get straightened out in front of your trailer, you can see, but then as soon as you got to cock over to make adjustments, you start getting, halfway blind, and if you're lucky, you get to the point where you're just the right angle that you can see enough to back in. But until you get to that point, you're having to get out 50,000 times to look, using that goal, that get out and look like you're supposed to be doing. So you got these cocky guys, oh, I got the skills, I can blindside back and do all this, and just like, it's not smart, it's stupid. So that's why I bitch about people doing stuff that set themselves up to get in accidents. People nosing in everywhere they go because they don't want to park next to us reefer guys, because they don't want to sleep next. I get that you don't want to sleep next to a running reefer because maybe you have trouble sleeping next to it, but after a while, if you're a trucker, you can learn to get used to that, and you'll sleep like a baby. Actually, you'll get to the point where you'll have trouble sleeping at home if there's not noises and stuff going on. You'll get used to all that stuff, and you'll be able to sleep through it. It won't even bother you. It's just like parents with kids. After a while, you start tuning out all that stuff, and things don't bother you anymore. So it's kind of like someone without kids, when they get around kids and go, and they're kind of like, how do you get along? How do you not just go crazy with all these kids doing all this and panic when your kids are doing stuff? If you don't hear, you get to the point where if you don't hear your kids screaming and crying, you just don't worry about it. You just kind of let it go, because they gotta kind of learn anyways. And getting up for every single noise and everything gets kind of you learn that it's unnecessary. But guys that nose into their spots when they don't have to, and half the time those guys that nose in don't get straight. If you watch Ike Stevens Bonehead Truckers, the guys talk about it all the time. And I've had guys, I nose in all the time. It's not, if you got the skills to do it, it don't matter if you got the skills. For one, most of the spots out there in most truck stops, you don't have enough room to pull in far enough where your ass end of your trailer isn't sticking out about 3-4 feet farther than everybody else, which you're kind of sticking out like a sore thumb to get hit for another thing, and then you're in everybody's way trying to back in or pull into other spots for them to try to back into spots. So you're making it hard on everybody else, depending on location and how things are. But a lot of these truck stops have very tight parking, and if you're a guy with your trailer sticking out an extra 3-4 feet, you're making it harder on everybody else. So you're not caring about your fellow truck drivers. And a lot of these, I'm going to pick on Petro and TAs because they're the ones I see it the most, and then some of these other truck stops out there that you see that have big lots, most of them, but they have all their parking going like this, angled, and the guys on the left all have sight, where they're backing on the left, but the guys that need to park into the passenger side spots have to blindside back in. Now, having that angle helps a lot for the blindside parking, because if you can get in the right angle to get in there, it's not so bad. It's a lot better than if you're trying to back in spots that are all straight across, if you know what I'm talking about, where everybody's facing each other dead on and it's all straight parking, not angled. The angled parking is definitely, you don't ever want to do a blind side back, but sometimes you are forced to do it. Sometimes you're forced to do blindside backing at some of these places where you're up against a wall or something on their building. You got docks that are up against the wall on your driver's side, and you gotta You got to be kind of creative in backing in some of these places, because some of these places got light poles and posts in the ground and things in your way, or you got the employee parking right in front of you and they don't give you a whole lot of room to manipulate. So you run into all kinds of stupid situations out here that just whoever designs some of these places is obviously not a truck driver and doesn't know how much room. Otherwise, they were someone who did city truck driving and they drove day cab or something and don't realize that people with sleepers need a lot more room to manipulate. And once you've been driving a while, you get better at dealing with this stuff. But a lot of these newbie guys that and a lot of the newbie truck drivers don't get trained very well for dealing with that stuff, and that's why they wind up panicking and hitting stuff, because they get in these situations. And until you get enough experience dealing with situations and learning how to recognize when you're going to get yourself into a jam and knowing how to avoid those, and or learning how to get yourself out of jams without hitting stuff. So just like last week, I was trying to get to the Hooters. I was trying to see if down there by Topeka, Kansas, I've always wondered for years, I've driven past it, if I could get to that Topeka Hooters. I thought it looked like from the highway that it was a bunch of like big parking lot and stuff, and I thought maybe I might be able to get in there and park to be able to go eat at that Hooters. And it turns out that there is not enough real room. There is a gas station with some room behind it, but trying to get in there wouldn't have been worth it to do it. And I went down the road and was looking for a place to turn around, and I wound up on a dead end back road. I took a right onto another road, and I wound up having to straight line back, and it was one of those roads that has a sharp right and you go down to the end, and then there was one of those rock foundries down there on the other side of railroad tracks. I don't know if I would have been able to make that sharp left turn to go into the entrance, but they had their gates closed anyway. So I wound up having to straight line back for about 2.5 miles or maybe more before I could back across a four-way stop. And luckily the police officer that was sitting in the park across from the church, there was a couple of churches I think they're both churches. I was trying to back into those and get turned around, but it was too sharp and the road was too skinny to back off of to get in there. So I wound up just giving up and backing up the rest of the way. I waited for traffic to clear, looked both ways, made sure no one was behind me, and then I backed across the four-way. And then as soon as I had my truck far enough back, I made the right turn and got back and went back there and got back on the highway. Once I got turned around, it was no big deal, but we all make wrong turns. We all do stuff, and those are the things that teach us the most. If you don't make mistakes, you're not gonna learn nothing. And so it's just learning how to get yourself out of jams without hitting anything and destroying property. Once you get to the point where you're doing that, then where you're learning how to avoid getting into those situations in the first place. But we live in a day and age where we're almost forced to use GPSs, because a road atlas, a motor carrier's road atlas, only gets you from city to city. it does not tell you jack about getting around on the side roads. In 98% of the cases, the city blow-ups are useless because we're usually not going to those areas with the city blow-ups in most cases. You usually gotta pull up your Google Maps or rely on your Rand McNally or Garmin or whatever brand GPS you're using, and hopefully it's a trucker's GPS, and trying to hope and pray that it's sending you to the right spot. Mine has messed up a lot lately. It sent me, I get off the highway, and instead of sending me the 3 miles to the left where I was supposed to go, where it was, it sends me 8 miles right off the highway, which I don't know, is that being opposite for you? It's reverse in the screen, or at least I'm looking at everything's mirrored. Anyway, but it sends me the wrong way, and then Google Maps will rarely messes up finding the exact location on stuff, but you got to watch your butt when you use Google Maps, because it's going to send you the way of a car, and it is not going to tell you whether or not there is a low bridge or there's a no truck route or whatever. So you've got to pay attention, because a lot of the times the no truck signs and stuff like that, you don't see that stuff until you've already turned down the street. So you usually got to have, come to a complete stop before you ever turn and look to make sure that it looks like you can go down that road. But the problem about that is some of these places you go to are down a road that's labeled no trucks, and you got to get to their entrances that are so far down the road. Hey, my light's green. So I'm going to get off my rant here talking about that stuff. I'm going to go and get my paperwork and get on down the road. And I will catch you guys later. But I think you guys get what I'm talking about, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks, Benny Dent, for coming on and watching, and anybody catching this on the replay. And please leave a like, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. For anybody watching this either now or on the replay, and I'll catch you guys later. I might get on live later, I don't know. It's all kind of random. It's just whenever I feel like going on. So I'll catch you guys later. So here, okay, they just sent me my lumper fee crap, so I gotta go do that. So catch you guys later. Catch you next video.